is me. There I am. Hello, everyone. I'm down here in the corner. Hi. You are looking live at C-SPAN streaming footage of the inauguration of Donald Trump. It has not yet started. Obviously, we're an hour early. You know those two people. That's Hillary and Bill Clinton. Mike Pence just came in by himself. Karen Pence not in attendance today. So the way that this works is if you've got questions, bring them on. Let me know. Let me know what's going on and what do you think of all this? I'm using StreamYard, which I've never used before, so I'm trying that on for size. It's a way to stream YouTube. So my plan, just so people know, is I'm going to spend time answering questions, making observations, at least at the start, for about an hour. And then I'm going to turn up the volume here, and you'll be able to hear, there's George W. Bush and Laura Bush. You'll be able to hear Donald Trump speaking. And then I'll come on, offer a few quick thoughts, and then pop off and make a video later. All right. So let's just go. First of all, thank you everyone for joining us. This is an amazing day, right? Every 4 years, we get something like this, the inauguration of the President of the United States. So this is a big day. All right, let's go. Let's go through a few. Sherry Zimmerman. There's Barack Obama. No Michelle Obama, I will note. Sherry Zimmerman. Chris, I was going to say button up Buttercup, yet once again, Mother Nature reminded us who's in charge. Yes, I am safely ensconced in my warm office. El Garcia, can't wait to see your moderation on the inaugural. Found you on Substack. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, for folks who don't know, I obviously do this on YouTube, but I also do a Substack, which is just a newsletter, printed newsletter. You can go chrisseliza.substack.com. Check that out. It's a lot of written content, a little bit of video content too. So check it out. Let's see. Seliza fan. I like that. Great handle. In DC for the inauguration, does anyone else have issues because of the cold, dry air? Oh, yeah, I guess I'm just used to it. Dr. Always First, what do you think about Bezos, Zuck, and Tim Cook sitting with the cabinet? Yeah, I did. I saw, if you look, I don't know if you can see, but they were showing Lauren Sanchez, who is Jeff Bezos's lady friend. They were showing her a minute ago on camera. See the woman in the white there that the camera was just scrolling off of? That's Miriam Adelson, who is Sheldon Adelson's widow, gigantic donor to Donald Trump and the Democratic Party. I mean, gigantic. She's in the background there. She has kind of like sunglasses on in a white outfit. So that's Miriam Adelson. Yeah. Marjorie Taylor Greene somehow made it in. So apparently there's about 600 seats in the Capitol Rotunda. Obviously, this is something that was going to happen outside. It is, I'm here in DC. It is in the 20s. It is pretty cold. I mean, I've felt colder, but it is. Okay, so there's Bezos and Lauren Sanchez right there. See, Lauren Sanchez is in the white right in front of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and she's taking a picture. It appears to be of Bezos. There's Elon Musk right there as well. There's Pete Hegseth standing in the background looking awkward. That'd be me, by the way, standing in the background looking awkward. So it was supposed to be outside. Donald Trump just made the move. There's Lara Trump. That's Eric Trump's wife, RNC co-chair. Donald Trump made the decision to have it be in the Capitol Rotunda because it was too cold, in his words. I made a video about this. I also think it's because there was some security concerns probably, as well as the fact that he was worried about crowds. Okay, so let me just keep going here. River Fashion, do you think we will see Justice Thomas and Justice Alito retire, allowing President Trump to nominate a total of 5 justices? It's certainly possible. Who knows? Clarence Thomas is in his 80s. Oh, Pete Hegseth is doing the thing where he's faking a phone call. There's Mark Zuckerberg next to Lauren Sanchez. He's faking a phone call like, oh, yeah, I got to talk to somebody here. Super busy. Dan W. Today is a day that we should hopefully put our differences aside. Thanks for all you do, Chris. I agree on that. Look, you do not have to like Donald Trump to say that this is the peaceful handover of power that we have every 4 years. I think there's real value in that. No matter who you supported. Sam says Hillary looks like she just woke up. She did look not thrilled to be there. Let's see. Greetings, Chris. You're my favorite channel. Thank you, SD Guy 1234. I appreciate that. There's Vivek Ramaswamy, and I think that's Christy Nome. Elise Stefanik is next to them. See them all, right? Well, I'm pointing with my mouse that you can't see there. A lot of Miriam Adelson. She's getting a lot of prime time. Brett Green, are you surprised Biden did the preemptive pardons? Yes, and I think it is disastrously bad. I think it is incredibly stupid. I think it sets a really dangerous precedent, excuse me. I mean, look, Biden said he wouldn't preemptively pardon people, and he said he was worried about Trump preemptively pardoning people at the end of 2020. Like, it's so hypocritical. I think it makes people look guilty too. Like, I actually don't think it's good. I think it makes Anthony Fauci or Mark Milley, like, why do they need to be pardoned if they've done nothing wrong? Okay, here's the Supreme Court. Roberts, Kavanaugh, Thomas, Gorsuch, Sotomayor. Excuse me. Oh, there's Gorsuch, rather. Coney Barrett. There they all are. So they're here to witness it. But so I think it is really, really dumb. I can't believe he did it. I think it's really, whoever was advising him, really bad advice. I think the end of Biden's presidency has been a total disaster. From pardoning Hunter Biden until now, whether it's the pretending that there's Ketanji Brown Jackson, pretending that the 28th Amendment was ratified, the ERA amendment, like, it's just been all over the place, Brett. And I just think it's a disaster. Shafed, what's it like to attend an inauguration? Well, the last one I've been to was 2008. I was a young reporter. Well, not that young, youngish reporter. I was in my early 30s, and it was Barack Obama's first inauguration. I worked for the Washington Post at the time. We were doing like live radio / TV hits from the riser outside. It was as cold as it is today. I mean, it was absolutely freezing. That is my primary memory. I was probably only 300 feet from Obama or something, but I was so cold and I had to get there so early that that's mostly what I remember, to be totally honest. But look, I do think it is a moment. This is how our democracy works, right? Joe Biden did not win. Kamala Harris did not win. They will hand off to a person in Donald Trump. It will be a peaceful handoff. He will be only the second president ever to be elected two non-consecutive terms. I mean, it really is historic in a lot of ways. So Sarah H says, this is the only place I want to watch this. Thanks, Sarah. That's so nice of you. Got Tequila. You can remove the StreamYard graphics. Go to media assets and click off the overlay. Oh, okay. Settings. Where are media assets? I don't know how to do that. So tell me if I can. Hold on. Oh, wait. If I do that, remove StreamYard logo. Oh, you know why? It's because I'll tell you why. The reason that the StreamYard logos are on there is because I have the free app right now. I don't pay for the broader one. So that's probably why, just for people who are wondering. Unless, wait, media assets, logo. I don't have my own logo. Let me see if I can unclick this. Now I have to upgrade. All right. Anyway, not that important. All right. Let me go back to the comments. Dr. Banana, personally, I'd rather we were watching Chris Cillizza being inaugurated. Well, yes. I mean, of course, why wouldn't you want me to be elected? Yeah, no, that's insane. Yeah, there's Carlos points out that Stephen Breyer is there. What a hat. Incredible. Don Jr., Eric, Tiffany, Barron. I mean, look how tall Barron is. Barron is a legit, is that a beret on Ivanka Trump? I think that is a beret. That's a beret. Wow. Okay. I guess we're going beret. There's Tiffany. And look at Barron. Just monstrously tall. He's like 19. Adam723. Thoughts on Trump and Melania pump and dump? Oh, the Bitcoin thing. Man, that is wild, isn't it? It's crazy that that's a thing. I mean, it seems to me just a total grift. Like, I don't know enough about Bitcoin to be able to be totally clear, but it seems like a total scam, these coins. There's Doug Burgum and Pam Bondi. You can see them sort of behind there. It's getting crowded in there. Remember, the rotunda probably fits about 600 people. So, there's going to be no members of the public unless you're a gigantic donor to this sort of thing. Keep the questions coming, by the way, people. Sam, hey, Chris, have been on here a few streams recently. Both videos and streams are very enjoyable. I can't donate, but what else can we do to support you? You can just spread the word. Tell other people what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, making multiple videos every day, probably 2 a day. And I'm doing live streams, and I'm making a real investment of my time in YouTube. So if you can tell people about it, that will be really, really, really helpful, and just spread the word. Ben Thompson says it's kind of crazy that in 4 years Jon Stewart will be inaugurated. Yeah, God, that's hilarious. Dan Navarro, hey Chris, watching on CNN now, it seems like we're really thinking of the insurrection in the past tense than something that is still consequential now. Yeah. First of all, just watch it here. You don't need to watch it on CNN. What does CNN got that I don't got? But yes, look, I think the reality is that for most Americans, not all, but most Americans, or a majority of Americans, January 6th is not something you want to think about, talk about, or worry about. I think we saw that in the election. It was just not something that people thought was relevant. They didn't, my view essentially is, look, I think it should have been disqualifying for Trump, but it wasn't disqualifying for him. And I think it's kind of like, I think you can bring it up, but the truth of the matter is it's not like people didn't know that he was involved in January 6th, and they still voted to elect him. So it's like, that's just how it goes. By the way, that guy who kind of looks like he's in like looks like he's from Liverpool, that's Javier Milei, the Argentinian president. See him? He's kind of to the screen right there. Oh, well, now we went back to Laura Trump. Remember, I don't control this camera, people. There's Jared Kushner. I think the spouses are now coming in, because that's Laura Trump. I think that's Tiffany's husband, whose name I don't know. Sorry, Tiffany's husband, sitting in, and that's sitting in front of Zuckerberg. Yep. Good to see you. Oh, X, always a pleasure. Yep. Really didn't shake Lauren Sanchez's hand. There's Rubio. Come on, Kushner. He's like, hey, Mark, good to see you. Always a pleasure. Hey, good to see you. Okay, here we go. I'm going to keep going. Chris Liza for president 2028, says Jake Smith. Oh, it's all happening, Jake. Jim Bart 8. Hey, Chris, I made a Substack just to follow. So what? Thank you. That is terrific. Let's see. Is Zuckerberg there? Yes, he is. He's right there behind Jared Kushner. Next to him is Lauren Sanchez. That is Jeff Bezos' girlfriend. There's Jeff Bezos. Right behind Bezos is, you may recognize, RFK Jr. There's Elon, obviously, right there. So let's see. Oh, Rogue Dog X points out, it's too bad that by the way, if you missed Ivanka Trump coming in, she has a green beret on. And Rogue Dog X says, too bad it's not a raspberry beret. Raspberry beret. R. Alejandro, I'm not listening to the audio in the Capitol, but I heard that people are getting booed as they enter. No, I don't think that is the case. I think that, look, this is a pro-Trump crowd. Now, this is interesting, folks. There is the former Vice President of the United States, the man who 4 years ago in 2 weeks was being chanted to hang Mike Pence, is entering. Now, his wife, Karen Pence, is not with him. I will note, and if you remember at the Jimmy Carter funeral a few weeks back, Karen Pence did not shake Donald Trump's hand or really even acknowledge Donald Trump. I don't think Karen Pence has kind of gotten over things. But Mike Pence is there, sort of disgraced. He wished he had been. Obviously, we know he ran for vice president. So yeah, there he is. Rogue Dog X. So now we know what you have that CNN doesn't: camera control. Yeah, no, CNN doesn't either. This is all C-SPAN's camera. There are the Clintons, probably the second family of the Democratic Party now, behind Barack and Michelle Obama. Let's see, as we come in, I'm just reading. Pence getting a standing O. Yes. Look, all these people are going to get standing O's. This is, there's Bill Clinton giving the salute, handshake. Good to see you. Dana White is hanging out with Miriam Adelson. Yes, there's Dana White. Yes, there he is right there. Good call. Who is the guy in the glasses there with the sunglasses down like this? It's an interesting look. So you guys know JD Vance is going to get sworn in at 11:30 about. So I'm gonna let me see if I can pot up the audio a little bit here. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn this audio up a little on this. Oh, that's too loud. Hold on. I've got there. Okay. Who is that guy behind Bill Clinton with this glasses? Inquiring minds want to know. People, does anybody know who that is? And can you hear this? I hope you can now hear a little background here. All right. Who's next? I think it's Barack. Boom, boom. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 44th President of the United States, the Honorable Barack H. Obama.
Background is low, but you can hear it. Yeah, Dr. Banana, I wanted to keep it low. Hey, how's everybody doing? All right. Yes. Good. Where's my seat? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, what's up? George, nobody has a good laugh better than George W. Bush. Martin says, makes me sick that everyone is acting like this is a normal swearing in. Folks, this is the darkest day in U.S. political history. Martin, here's all I'd say. Donald Trump won fair and square. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with your feelings about this, but he won the election. People knew what he was. So we can sort of debate back and forth on that, but he won. He won.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Justice of the United States, the Honorable John
there's
G.
John
Roberts
Jr.
Jr.
Justin
and the
Jandra says,
Associate
hey, Chris,
Justices
when
of the
will
Supreme
your
Court
analytic
of the
critique that has
United
been very
States.
heavy on Biden shift to Trump? Preemptive pardons are so bad, but you practically laughed over Trump's grift. Not my intent at all. I think, Justin, Trump's grift is built in. I do not think that if you read or watch my commentary, you will conclude that I'm not critical enough of Donald Trump. I just think Joe Biden's ending in office is really, really bad. You know, I call balls and strikes, man. I call it how I see it, and I call balls and strikes. I'm always going to do that on here, on my Substack. Like, that's what I do. So I don't I don't try to sort of pull punches either way. But yeah, no, the Trump thing is ridiculous. It is a grift. I mean, there's no question about that. The Trump coin and the Melania coin. I mean, there's no question. No question. All right, let's see. So the chief justices have come in. Martin says millions of people are so uneducated and sucked into a cult. Martin, I don't think they're uneducated. I think that's a mistake. The idea that everyone who voted for Donald Trump is stupid and ignorant and racist, I think is a huge mistake. 77 million people voted for him. I don't think all those people are that. I've talked to lots and lots of smart people who decided to vote for Donald Trump. You can disagree with their motives, but the idea that they're all just stupid, I think I think we're missing the forest through the trees. Like, I really do. Actually news, is that Chuck Grassley or Stephen Breyer? Let me look closer. Dan W., I voted for Biden and Harris, and the end of the Biden presidency was bad, period. Yeah, I mean, look, that's my view. There's no way that you can spin this as a good thing. He has behaved in ways that are deeply selfish. Now, Donald Trump, of course, is selfish. I mean, I'm not like, of course. There's Joe Biden and Doug Emhoff. What are the two people least happy to be here? Joe Biden and Doug Emhoff. Brian Lipton, I agree that you call balls and strikes. The problem is with the size of Trump's strike zone. That's a really good, that's a fair point, and I'll take that into account. Got Tequila said millions of people are upset with the current Biden policies. I agree. Brian Lipton. I read you, Brian. El Garcia, I'd love to have you on a podcast I'm a producer of. Hopefully I can reach out soon. Absolutely. Salizac@gmail.com. It'll come right to me. Cardinal, a.k.a. Jeff Stevens. I think Chris is commenting on the remarkable and unusual. Much of Trump's foolish behavior is sadly normal for him. Biden's pardons were uncharacteristic and inconsistent with his messages. Yeah, look, at some level, right, Joe Biden and Democrats have said, we are better than Donald Trump. We're not going to be like Donald Trump. But then if you behave like Donald Trump has never sort of said he's going to be anything other than he is, which I think is like utterly transactional and, so yes, I think that's true. Mike, thank you for your donation. By the way, folks, if you do want to support me in what I do, I would love for you to donate. Mike, thank you for the donation. Mike says your final 4 brackets for each party candidate who will be here in 4 years. Thanks for streaming. Barron, by the way, just gigantically tall. Each party candidate who will be here in 4 years. I don't know, Mike. Explain more what you think of that. Aaron L says no members of the public who aren't politicians or billionaires. Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be really hard to get in a room of 600 people unless you're a former president, a big donor, a member of the cabinet, or a member of Congress. By the way, I don't know if you can see him, but that's Cory Booker right there in the front row. You can only see the back of his head. Martin, of course, it's an easy thing to say, but if a person can look past everything Trump has done and vote for him, in my book, that makes you stupid. I mean, I guess, like, I'm not gonna prove, Martin, I'm not gonna prove that I'm not gonna convince you otherwise. I think it's a mistake to just say everyone who voted for Trump did it because they're not educated, and if they were, they would vote Democratic. There are a lot of smart, educated people who don't vote for Democrats, and that's okay. Let's see. Gabriel Rodriguez, in foreign policy, do you think Trump will be the same or will he be tougher on China? So, Gabriel, I would recommend, I did a really good conversation with Bill Bishop. There's Grassley and there's Cory Booker. And I think that's Tom Cotton to Cory Booker's right. I did a really great conversation with the guy who writes Cynicism, the Cynicism Substack. It's SINOCISM, named Bill Bishop, who's a China expert. I did it over the weekend. Go to my Substack, chrisliza.substack.com, and check it out. Really good conversation. Hello, Robot. So, Chris, as a left-wing guy myself, I like how you reassure us that Trump isn't America's Hitler and today isn't the end of America. Yeah, it's just not, I don't think. I know it's easy to get caught up in all this, but no, I do not think that Donald Trump is America's Hitler. And no, I do not think democracy is coming to an end. Will Donald Trump try to do radical things? Will he accomplish doing some radical things? Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
but
escorting Dr. Biden and Mr. Emhoff, the Republican staff director of
the
Joint Congressional
yes, he will. But do I think
Ms.
that
Emily
democracy
Levine,
is going to end?
the
No,
Senate
I don't.
Secretary
I
for
just
the
don't.
minority, the Honorable Gary Myrick.
Bill
The
Reeves
House
says,
of
I think the pardons,
Representatives
except for the
Chief
Hunter Biden
Administrative
pardons, were a
Officer,
good thing. Well, yeah, but the Hunter Biden pardon was kind of a big deal.
And Mr. Bruce Fisher.
Right? I mean, like a really big deal. Like, yeah, like, I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, other than that one really bad thing. Let's see. Shafe said, odds Mr. Tony's
Dr.
watching the
Jill
stream.
Biden
Literally
and
zero.
Mr.
Brian
Douglas
Lipton. Where's
Emhoff.
JD Vance been since the election? There they are again. These are the 2 least happy people to be here of the entire room. No question. Look, Doug Emhoff, he's like, hey, Bill. Good to see you. Joe Biden. I wish Nancy Pelosi, we could see Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden meeting. El Garcia, can't wait to connect. You are the calm and nonpartisan commentator America needs. El Garcia, thank you so much for your donation. That's incredibly kind of you. And thank you. Please email me. How to College says Lady McBiden. Oh, so good. Mike, best 4 candidates to be president 4 years from now: Republican Vance, Rubio, and any 2 other early strong candidates, Democrats, Newsom. So I would say Vance, Rubio, Ted Cruz, Tom Cotton, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. My guess is all those people are in that room. I don't know if Sarah Huckabee Sanders is. She's speaking at the rally at Capital One Arena, so it's possible that she's not. Democrats, Newsom for sure will run. Whitmer, Shapiro, Buttigieg, maybe Kamala Harris, although I don't think she's the strongest candidate. Martin, I respect you, Chris, but I think you're trying to be too moderate. There's nothing good about a Trump's presidency or anyone. Well, Martin, I'm just not that guy. I'm not trying to be moderate. I'm just trying to say 77 million people voted for this guy again, and I'm not going to just dismiss all those people as idiots. I just think that's a mistake. Kruger, thoughts on the Fauci pardon. So Kruger, earlier, I did talk about the pardons, the preemptive pardons. I think that is insane. that happens. I think it's a gigantic mistake. I think it makes the people he pardoned look guilty. He said repeatedly he would not do any preemptive pardons. He criticized Donald Trump and said he was worried about Donald Trump doing preemptive pardons at the end of 2020. It's just so hypocritical. It's so much hypocrisy, excuse me. And I think it's just really, really, really bad. Gabriel Rodriguez, as crazy as Trump is, Europe in the end of the day will accept some of his demands at this point. They're too dependent on the U.S., even with Musk interfering on their politics. Yeah, I think that's true. Like, look, I do think there's a level of, well, there's Bernie Sanders right in the front row. I do think there is a level of the unpredictability and volatility of Trump actually does work in Trump's favor at some level because people don't know what the hell to expect. God, that must be tough for Joe Biden and Doug Emhoff. I mean, that is brutal. Cardinal, aka Jeff Stevens, have the wildfires impacted Newsom's chances? Not yet, and certainly not negatively, Cardinal. I think, I think that Biden is, Newsom is, I'm looking at Joe Biden, sorry. I think Newsom, a lot depends on how he handles the fires, but I think he's done okay so far. Actual News says Tucker Carlson is in the front row. I did not see that yet, but How to College says Trump's crazy Yvonne negotiating strategy works. Yeah, he's not wrong. There's Newt Gingrich and Callista Gingrich right there. She was the ambassador to the Vatican. John Boehner, Kevin McCarthy, Paul Ryan, notably not there in terms of former Republican House Speaker, is not there. That's Debbie Wasserman Schultz in the second row, former chair of the Democratic National Committee. Don. I mean, that beret. What the heck? Politics and punches with Jake. Chris, I have a theory. I think J.D. Vance isn't a shoo-in for the GOP in 2028 like many think. I think he's going to have massive issues in terms of Trump's ego not being able to handle him as the heir. I totally agree. I think it is really complicated for J.D. Vance because Donald Trump doesn't like anyone taking the spotlight from him. And Vance at some point is going to have to kind of start running for president himself. And that's going to be really, really, really challenging. I know that guy behind Jill Biden and Doug Emhoff. I know I've seen his face and I cannot put it together. But Jake, I think you're right. That's a good theory. On Deal Natuli, hey Chris, tuning in from South Africa. Trump will visit South Africa later this year for the G7. Do you think Trump will exert more pressure on countries within BRICS, or is it a non-issue? I don't know, on Deal. It's a good question that I don't know the answer to. We'll see. I mean, I always assume that unpredictability is the name of the game when it comes to Donald Trump. So, assume nothing. The G20, yeah. River Fashion, it is my true hope that Wes Moore or Pete Buttigieg will be the next Democratic nominee. I think both have a chance. I think I'd probably bet a little bit more on Wes Moore. Rogue Dog X, to the comment of people saying people who voted for Trump are stupid, I think at least a good chunk of people who are just desperate. They don't feel their needs were met. Desperate breeds bad choices. I do think there was that. There's Tim Cook, right? That's Tim Cook. I wasn't talking about Tim Cook. I knew that was Tim Cook. It's the guy with the colored glasses. But yes, that is Tim Cook, head of Apple. So we have the head of Apple, the head of Meta, the head of X, and did I forget? Oh, the head of Amazon. Justin Jandersit says, good pronunciation of my last name. I do what I can. Look at Barron. I think Barron is legit 6'8". What are we doing now? Is this just a piano solo? I guess we're waiting. JD Vance is going to take the oath. And at that point, I will turn up the noise and turn up the sound so you guys can hear that. I think we're sort of getting ready for that. You News says, is there a child playing keyboard right now? Sounds like White Christmas. Actual News, is that Deb Fisher's husband? I think it is, with the cane. River Fashion. That's not Tim Cook. It's Tim Apple again. There's George W. Sounds like Silent Night. I know it's not. For stuff. Hey, Chris, how excited are you to make America great again? I mean, dude, I've been making America great for years now. I'm going to continue to keep making America great again. Oh, Ryan Smith said the song is Great Is Thy Faithfulness. Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. That is helpful. And by the way, Playing Sound said the same thing. Sam, still a Solicitor fan. Chris, what do you make of Michelle Obama refusing to be in the same room as Trump? Well, I mean, that's her choice. She's not a politician. She's not a former president. She doesn't really have to play the game. Nathan Baker said, folks, hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button, people. Come on. We're getting there. We're a half hour away from the 47th president of the United States, Donald Trump. We are minutes away, I believe. I think this is what we're waiting for after this hymn. I think it's going to be J.D. Vance being sworn in. Let's see. There's Usha Vance. That's J.D. Vance's wife. Melania, right? Amazing hat. Is that Melania? That's Melania. Yeah, that's Melania. That hat. I need my friend Kate, who used to work at at CNN. She'd break down how much that outfit cost. Martin says, "Wait, what happened? Why did the program end?" Hold on, folks. Let me just fix this. That was weird. We're just going to go to the... We're going to have to watch this ad. We're going to go to it. Hold on. That was weird. Come on, C-SPAN. What the heck? Maybe they're switching to something else? Morning presidential events. Hold on. Unfiltered part 1. Is this it?
Working with Adobe.
Hold on, we gotta watch this ad. Sorry, everyone.
Business acting manual.
I think they ended it at 11:30, and they're going to another one. So we're gonna watch this ad. Let me turn the sound off. We'll watch this ad, and then hopefully we'll get going. Solid ad. Good job, Adobe. Okay, there we go. We're back. Hold on. Let me make it big again. That was hilarious. Anyway, all right, we're back. Sorry about that, folks. News says Melania looks like Spy versus Spy. It's so true.
The Armed Forces Chorus and America's Tenor, Christopher D. Macchio.
Oh, okay. America's Tenor. Here we go. Aaron L. said the program has ended. No second term. Okay, here we go. Is that a velvet jacket? That's a velvet jacket. That's crushed velvet. Could have used one more button on that shirt. Aaron says, Chris, this is delightfully lo-fi. Yeah, well, not my intention. It's just what I do. At least it's working, right? Well, there's the Capital One watch party. I think this will be J.D. Vance, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, there's Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Wow, what a moment. What a moment for both of them. That is tough. News said the singer waxed his chest for us. Brian L., shout out to Chris for getting the video back on track so quickly. You win the Bill O'Reilly Award for We'll Do It Live. I do what I can. Ryan Smith, don't slap on my blue suede suit. Do you think that's a suit, Ryan? Or do you think that's just got to be a jacket, right? There's no way he's got a full blue suede suit. If he does, it's really impressive. Nathan Baker, what is the temperature in D.C. right now? It's probably in the 20s. God, Doug Emhoff. Doug Emhoff is like, how much longer am I here? Oh, drums kick in. No, the Capital One Arena is not outdoors. There he is, John David Vance. Oh, he has gray pants on, according to Donna. All right, that's fine. JD definitely got his beard trimmed for this. Oh, is this a medley? Is Christopher Macchio related to Ralph Macchio? Four Stuff says, I changed my mind. This music goes hard. Can you turn off the audio of the video? I can turn it down. But no, don't you want to hear this? Song is rocking. Hold on, I'll turn it down a little. I mean, he's really going now. Look at that. Ralph Macchio's lost cousin. Mr. Wolf, I turned it down. I hope that's helpful. I am going to turn it up once Vance gets sworn in, which I think is going to happen here. Doug Emhoff looks miserable. Brett Green said, did you see Trump dancing with the village people? You bet I did. You bet I did. Chuck Schumer. Mike Johnson. Guy at the Capital One Arena watch party with croquis on his glasses. Mark-a-lot says, I'd rather hear commentary than anything said at the inauguration. Just me, maybe. Well, I do want to hear Vance sworn in, and I want to hear what Trump says. So I'm gonna pipe it up for that.
The Honorable Jackie Barber, the clerk of the House of Representatives, the Honorable Kevin F. McCumber, Mr. John Bessler, Mrs. Kelly Johnson, Mrs. Iris Weinschall Schumer, and Mrs. Jennifer Scalise.
So these are all the spouses of the congressional leaders. Oh, you know that guy. Purple tie, signed it by partisanship. You says, I won't buy it. Don't worry. And the crowd goes wild. Aaron L., which Hunger Games sequel is this? That made me laugh. There's Melania. She looks like she's a French tourist. I feel like. Hey, there's Uncle Sam. God, Barron. Can you guys hear that band in the background? I want to make sure it's not too quiet. Doesn't she, Pete? She does look like a French tourist. You snooze, you knew, said Baron finna dunk on everyone. He's so tall. How to college, is anyone else in the room wearing a hat? Well, Ivanka has a beret on for sure. Dr. Banana, is Fetterman there in shorts and a hoodie? I've not seen Fetterman, but I bet he's there.
The Vice President of the United States, ranking member of the Joint.
Tom says Melania looks like a cricket umpire. It's so true. All right, Dr. Banana says turn up the audio bit. Hold on, I will.
Hakeem Jeffries and Senate Majority Secretary, the Honorable Robert Duncan.
How's that? Hopefully that's a little bit better. Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, the Honorable Joseph R. Biden.
I mean,
Jr.
this is brutal.
Vice President
I mean, I know
of the
this is
United
democracy in
States,
action.
the Honorable Kamala Davy Harris.
By the way, can you hear the booing at the Capital One Arena watch party? Jim Bart 8 says Barron Trump is going to be a lottery pick. He is really, really tall. I mean, this is hard. This is hard. You know, if you're Joe Biden, oof, you know, your legacy is bookended by Donald Trump on the front end and Donald Trump on the back end. If you're Kamala Harris, you just lost to this guy. Now you got to stand here and watch him. You called him a threat to democracy. You called him a fascist. And now you got to stand here and watch a guy you called those things be sworn into office as the next president of the United States. Remarkable. I mean, look, this is how democracy should work, but man, it doesn't make it any less brutal.
The Vice President-elect, the Executive Director for the Joint Congressional Committee on
Tom said, I thought that booing was inside the Capitol. No, that's at Capital One Arena.
Deputy Sergeant-at-Arms and Doorkeeper, Jason Bell, and House Deputy Sergeant-at-Arms, Mr. Sean Keating.
Okay. So this is going to be Vance coming in here. By the way, I hurt my back on Saturday, so sitting here is not super comfortable. I'm doing this for you guys. Not all heroes wear capes. Got my Duncan. Look at that never surrender Trump hat there on that woman. Checking her
Ladies
phone.
and gentlemen, the Vice President-elect of the United States, the Honorable J.D. Vance.
AB says, do we know how many people are in attendance? So I would say there's probably about 600 in this Capitol Rotunda room. And then at Capital One, it probably seats 20,000-ish. I can't totally tell how full it is. It looks pretty full, but about that. Pete Pineda, am I using a heating pad on my back? No, I'm not. I need to. It's not great. It hurts. Look at Don Jr. JD Vance is 8 years younger than me. 8 years younger than me. Brutal. River Fashion said the VP debate really helped JD Vance's approval and image. It did, no question. Cardinal AKHF, if it is only 600, that means literal sitting members of Congress can't fit in there. I think that's right. Remember, a bunch of Democratic members of Congress are not coming, so that makes a little bit of room, but you're right. I think it's 600, 6 something, and there's no way they could all fit. Hey, Tara Palmieri, thank you for joining. By the way, my friend Tara Palmieri, if you don't follow her on YouTube, you need to, because she is the best. So follow her. All right, let's see. So this should be the JD Vance swearing in coming up.
The staff director for the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, Elizabeth Farah.
I mean, Sam says, Chris, I'm starting to think this is not the largest crowd to ever witness an inauguration, period. Yeah, I mean, that's still, so that's from 27, early 2017, and that was wild. That was wild. That was Sean Spicer, who, by the way, has since said he regrets saying that.
The Honorable Hakeem Jeffries, House
Amy
Majority
Klobuchar?
Leader, the Honorable Steve Scalise, Speaker of
Look at
the
that
House
Trump
of
shirt. Trump as the Terminator. You guys see that shirt on the right?
Senate Democratic Leader.
Para, love you, love your
Charles
commentary,
P.
and
Schumer,
thank you.
ranking
I'm trying to
member
do
of the
cool,
Joint
interesting
Congressional
stuff.
Committee
This is
on
my first time
Inaugural
of trying to do
Ceremonies,
this,
the
like
Honorable
live
Jeff
stream.
Fisher,
So
and
we'll see.
Chairwoman of the Joint
And I
Congressional
promise, by the way,
Committee on
folks, I will
Inaugural
not talk over the
Ceremonies,
swearing in of the
Honorable
president and the vice
Amy
president.
Klobuchar.
Where is the band, I wonder? Are they behind this crowd? I guess they are, because I don't see them near the front of the room. That room, by the way, is cool. I mean, that's the Capitol Rotunda. Absolutely gorgeous. That artwork, amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President-elect of the United States, the Honorable Donald John Trump.
Kyle Halver, love that you're doing this, Chris. Lacheserie to you, my friend. Christy Noam, that's the hand hold by Donald Trump. It's Trump and Melania. Oh, can he get her on the hat? I don't think he technically kissed her. We're gonna need an update on that because it was very close, but he couldn't get to it. And then Trump and Biden, pleasantries. That hat complicated things. Rogue Dog X says, sorry about your back. Yeah, man, I heard it working out. It kills. Whew. Yeah, Tom says he did not land it. No touch, no contact. Yeah, there was not a kiss there. I didn't see it. Pat playing defense with the kiss. Did he connect? No, Pete, I don't think he connected. All right. Barron is like, after this, I got to work on my pivot move. That's what he's thinking. I got to work on my 18-foot jumper. All right, there's the room. There's the rotunda. You can see roughly how many people fit in there. It's not a huge crowd. And Mark Lott says we need an instant replay on the kiss. We absolutely do. Some bad lighting for those people in the back. Trump's makeup, not super orange. Okay. All right, so this is the formal proceedings. Let me turn this up a little bit, and I will try not to chime in too much. Hold on. All right. By the way, my dream always is to do Mystery Science Theater 3000, but for politics. So this is about the closest I get. So if you guys like this, I may do more of it. Okay, hey, look, I'm the president. You're the vice president. All right, remember that. Remember that. Why did you wear the red tie? I said the purple tie. So anyway, if you guys like this kind of stuff, I'll do more of it because I really enjoy it.
Please welcome the chairwoman of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Amy Klobuchar.
By the way, I will note Trump's speech for people wondering.
Good morning, everyone.
For people wondering,
Welcome
Trump's speech
to
in
the
2016 or
presidential
early 2017 was only
inauguration.
17 minutes long, the shortest
Today,
since
President-elect
Jimmy Carter in
Trump
1977.
and Vice President-elect Vance will take their oaths of office, and we will witness the peaceful transfer of power at the heart of our democracy. For the past year, I've chaired the inaugural ceremony committee, which includes the leadership of Congress from both parties. We thank the committee and
for people
Capitol
wondering,
staff
Amy Klobuchar
and
is the
law
head of the Joint
enforcement
Committee
who
on
worked
Inauguration.
so
It's
hard
just
over the
a,
last year,
so
and
she's
especially
just,
the last 3
this is not a
days.
partisan
You've
gig,
done a
really. You
beautiful
just kind of
job,
set up the
and you have
inauguration.
shown grace under pressure. Our theme this year is our enduring democracy. The presence of so many presidents and vice presidents here today is truly a testament to that endurance. We welcome President Biden and Dr. Biden. We welcome Vice President Harris and Doug Emhoff, President Obama, President Clinton and Secretary Clinton, President Bush and Laura Bush, Vice President Pence, Vice President Quayle and Marilyn Quayle. The justices of the United
Dan Quayle,
States
shout out.
Supreme Court
I didn't see Dan
are
Quayle. I
with
must have
us,
missed him.
all 9 of them, I counted. And of course, the Trump and Vance families. This ceremony marks what will soon be 250 years of our democracy. It is the moment when leaders elevated by the will of the people promise to be faithful to our Constitution, to cherish and defend it. It is the moment when they become, as we all should be, the guardians of our country. Through war and peace, through adversity and prosperity, we hold this inauguration every 4 years. And today it falls on Martin Luther King Day, a further reminder that we must strive to uphold the values enshrined in our Constitution, the freedoms, the liberties, and as is inscribed on the entrance of the United States Supreme Court,
Democrats wanted Sonia
equal
Sotomayor to
justice under law.
resign and retire before Biden finished his presidency so that Biden could name her replacement. Didn't happen.
But what makes this moment more than a passing ceremony is all who are watching it across the country, the people of this nation, the ordinary people doing
Pineda says, I wonder what the
extraordinary
MLK
things.
assassination report will say.
President
By the way,
Kennedy,
I'll
who
know.
at
So Trump
one
is saying he's
point
going to release the
worked as a
JFK
senator in
assassination
this
stuff too.
building
Now, he said that in
and
the
would
first term and
often
didn't
walk
do
through
it,
this
so we'll
very
see.
rotunda,
But I'm
once
super
said,
interested in that.
in a democracy, every citizen, regardless of interest in politics, holds office. Every one of us is in a position of responsibility. With that responsibility of citizenship comes an obligation not to seek out malice, as President Lincoln once reminded us, but to view others with a generosity of spirit despite our differences. With that responsibility of leadership comes an obligation to stand our ground when we must and find common ground when we can. With everything swirling around us, the hot mess of division, it
Hot
is
mess
on
of
all
division.
Of us,
That was the name
to
of my high
quote
school
an
band.
incredible songwriter who just happened to be born in my state, to ensure that our nation's democracy
Did she just quote
is
Bob Dylan?
our shelter from the storm.
Yes. Good job, Amy
There's a
Klobuchar.
reason this ceremony
Donald Trump
takes
from
place
Hibbing, Minnesota.
at the Capitol. In
Donald
other
Trump.
countries,
Bob
it
Dylan
might
from
be in a
Hibbing, Minnesota.
presidential
Sorry.
palace or a gilded executive office building. Here it is traditionally held at the Capitol, the People's House. It is a fitting reminder of the system of checks and balances that is the very foundation of our government. 3 equal branches of government. That is how, for nearly 250 years, our
Got my
great
microphone.
American
I'm
experiment,
sitting back to try to
grounded
rest
in
my
the
back.
rule of law, has endured. So, as we
I think
inaugurate
it's cold in
a
there.
new
Hot in there.
president
Probably hot in
and
there,
vice
right?
president,
Probably
let
hot.
us remember that the power of those in this room comes from the people. The construction workers who build our country, the teachers and healthcare workers
Trump looks like
who
he's nodding
nurture us,
off.
the troops defending our freedoms,
staring
and
into
yes,
space.
the firefighters in Los Angeles putting
Oh, Sherry
themselves
Zimmerman. My father
on
was
the
born in
line
Hibbing, Minnesota.
for
Nice. You and Bob
us.
Dylan, aka Robert Zimmerman. Not a lot of clapping there.
Our democracy's strength and grit must match theirs. May God bless our nation.
By the way, is there anything
Thank you.
worse than back pain? Come on, Amy Klobuchar talk about that. All right, let's get to the show here. Enough of Klobuchar. I still remember Klobuchar when she announced her president in that snowstorm. Do you remember that? Incredible.
Good afternoon. Endurance through the years is the ultimate test. To persevere through time is the truest measure of an idea, an institution, and a nation. Our founders wrote the Constitution so that
I thought
America
that was Deb Fisher. I
could
wasn't totally
withstand
sure, though, I'll be
all
honest.
the twists and turns of time. They wrote it to guide us and to preserve forever.
That's Deb Fisher from Nebraska,
our
you
right
snooze, you
of
news.
life,
Remember, she was at the
liberty,
center of the
and the
controversy when
pursuit
her
of
husband didn't
happiness.
shake Kamala
But as
Harris's
much
hand when
as
she
the
was sworn
truths
in,
and
but
principles
we think it's because he had a
enshrined in our
cane.
Constitution
Okay, so people want an
remain the
over-under on the
same,
Trump speech. I'm going to
our
say
democracy
23
promises
minutes.
the American
Over-under on the
people
23.
power to
So
change,
23 and a
to
half
chart
minutes.
their own
Over-under. I think
destiny.
I would go under
That's the beauty.
it, but I'm going to say
That
23
is
and a
the
half minutes. That's my
importance
theory.
of democracy.
Sorry, Deb Fisher.
It allows the endurance, the permanence of a nation
That is
through
a
change.
big brooch
It
on
allows
Deb Fisher.
nations like our United States both to avoid the obstacles and to
Look at Kamala
seize
Harris.
the opportunities God has placed before us, all while staying true to our founding
Shaved.
principles.
That's such a
Today
James Carville.
is
I'll
our
buy the hook.
country's 60th inauguration ceremony. Like all the others before it, it is a celebration of our right to set our uniquely American course.
The Melania
The
outfit
past several
is
years have been
incredible.
trying at times,
Paul Olson says, how about
for
a
many,
Castro-esque speech
many
of 4
Americans.
hours?
and also for the nations of the free world that
Tim
we
Donahue, is today
humbly
more weird for Mike
strive
Pence
to
or
lead.
Kamala Harris? Oh,
In November,
I think Kamala Harris because she
Americans
thought she was
chose
going to
again
win,
to steer
but
this nation
it's weird for Mike
towards
Pence
greatness.
too. Don't
the
get me wrong.
secure, safe, and prosperous future that our founders envisioned for all of us. And today, we celebrate not only
Oh,
their
boy.
decision to do so, but also the simple right
I
and
always like Bill
wisdom
Clinton. He's got the
of a
like the
free
Santa
people
Claus glasses.
to make their
He's had those
own
for a while.
choice so that their nation might endure. And now, allow me to welcome Archbishop Timothy Dolan and Reverend Franklin Graham, who will deliver our invocation. Please rise.
Be still and know that I am God, supreme among the nations, supreme on the earth. Let us pray. Remembering General George Washington on his knees at Valley Forge, recalling Abraham Lincoln at his second inaugural, with malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right. Remembering General George Patton's instructions to his soldiers as they began the Battle of the Bulge 8 decades ago. Pray. Pray when fighting. Pray alone. Pray with others. Pray by night. Pray by day. Observing the birthday of the Reverend Martin Luther King, who warned, without God, our efforts turn to ashes. We, blessed citizens of this one nation under God, humbled by our claim that in God we trust, gather indeed this Inauguration Day to pray for our President Donald J. Trump, his family, his advisors, his cabinet, his aspirations, his vice president, for the Lord's blessings upon Joseph Biden, for our men and women in uniform, for each other whose hopes are stoked this new year, this Inauguration Day. We cannot err in relying upon that prayer from the Bible, upon which our president will soon place his hand in oath, as we make our own the supplications of King Solomon for wisdom as he began his governance. God of our fathers, in your wisdom you set man to govern your creatures, to govern in holiness and justice, to render justice with integrity. Give our leader wisdom, for he is your servant, aware of his own weakness and brevity of life. If wisdom which comes not from you be not with him, he shall be held in no esteem. Send wisdom from heavens that she may be with him, that he may know your designs. Please, God, bless America. Please mend her every flaw. You are the God in whom we trust, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen.
Big finish there. I like that. Okay, Franklin Graham. This is Billy Graham's son, for people who don't know.
Mr. President, the last 4 years, there are times I'm sure you thought it was pretty dark. But look what God has done. We praise him and give him glory. Let us pray. Our Father and our God, thou hast said, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. As the prophet Daniel prayed, blessed be the name of God forever and ever. For wisdom and might are his. He changes the times and the seasons. He removes kings. He raises up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have understanding. Our Father, today, as President Donald J. Trump takes the oath of office once again, we come to say thank you, O Lord our God. Father, when Donald Trump's enemies thought he was down and out, you and you alone saved his life and raised him up with strength and power by your mighty hand. We pray for President Trump that you'll watch over, protect, guide, direct him. Give him your wisdom from your throne on high. We ask that you would bless him and that our nation would be blessed through him. We also ask that you would bless and protect Melania as First Lady. We thank you for the beauty, the warmth, and grace that she shows not only to this nation, but to the whole world. We thank you for Vice President-elect J.D. Vance and his wife Usha and their young family. May he be a strength to President Trump, to stand beside him, to hold up his arms like Aaron held up the arms of Moses in the midst of battle. The prophet Samuel reminded the people, it was you that brought them up from the land of Egypt. And he said, now stand still that I may reason with you before the Lord. So Father, we take this moment to stand still, to remember the great things that you have done for this nation. Thank you for the protection, the bounty, the freedoms that we so enjoy. We remember to keep our eyes fixed on you, and may our hearts be inclined to your voice. We know that America can never be great again if we turn our backs on you. We ask for your help, and we pray all of this in the name of the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, your Son, my Savior, and our Redeemer, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Well, that one was
Ladies
a little
and
bit
gentlemen,
more
please welcome
pointed
Associate Justice
in the
Kavanaugh to
prayer,
administer
basically
the
saying
vice
that
presidential
God
oath
saved
of
Donald
office.
Trump from an assassination attempt so that he could be elected. I just wonder what was going through Kamala Harris's mind at that moment. Holy moly. All right. These are the Vance children. Thumb suckers of the world unite.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, James David Vance, do solemnly swear
I, James David Vance, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Vice
And
President.
there it is. James David Vance is the new Vice President of the United States. Kamala Harris is now, of this moment, not the Vice President of the United States anymore. Joe Biden still weirdly the President of the United States for another minute or so probably. But that is it. That is official. J.D. Vance, a man who before 2022 had never run for any elected office, in January of 2025 is the Vice President of the United States. And now here is Donald Trump, about to become the 47th President of the United States, the second man to win the office in non-consecutive terms. This is history we are about to witness.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr.
And there it is. Donald Trump, the 47th President of the United States, shakes hands with Joe Biden, does not shake hands with Kamala Harris, greets his family. The guns are 21 gun salute. And that is official. Donald Trump, in a political comeback, the likes of which I didn't think I would ever see, to be, if I'm being honest, has become the President of the United States for the second time. Again, only the second man to ever win the office, lose the office, and win the office back. This is a remarkable moment. Elon Musk, there he is, looking on. Right there, that's Donald Trump's immediate family that he is greeting, and I believe Donald Trump will come up here to speak in a moment. Melania kind of just nodding. Oh, the Baron shakes hands with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And I believe Donald Trump will speak now after he sort of congratulates some people. Accepts congratulations from people. There he is. Okay, well, maybe we're going to have... So you can see the teleprompters are going up because he is going to speak. Oh, look at this. Chorus coming through the room. Look at these people. They're like, oh, I worked hard for this seat. I do love this song. Kind of a slower version of Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. What did we do before phones? Everybody just recording it on their phone. Oh, out of the way, people. The U.S. Naval Academy has a glee club? The Baron looks like he's just laughing at a joke that only he knows. Uncle Sam. Look at that. I mean, that's a commitment to the bit. I mean, that guy grew that goatee, you know? He's not joking around. He didn't just decide that he was going to go as Uncle Sam last night, you know? That guy's behind. The guy's singing. The feed is behind. Unlimited Fire Sticks. That is commitment, right? Uncle Sam is committed. A lot of MAGA hats in that crowd. Chris, what historical figure would you most like to dress up as? Johnny Appleseed.
Christ was born across the sea. With our glory in his bosom that transfigures to and as he died to make men holy. Let us die to make men free while God is watching over.
Big finish. Kimberly Guilfoyle, no longer with Don Jr. Oh my gosh, the people in the vests. Remember when he got in the garbage truck? I totally forgot about that. Yes, Sam, Kim Guilfoyle and Don Jr. are broken up. She's like the ambassador to Belgium or something, and he's now with some society person from Palm Beach. That's why she's not prominently featured. All right. I would assume the speech will happen now. Oh, you guys see that there? The eyebrow raise. Okay. Really a slow clap there by Trump. Reince Priebus, former chairman of the Republican National Committee and Donald Trump's first chief of staff.
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you the 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
All right, here it is. That tie is really long. Really long, huh? Hey, look at me. Look at Paul Rudd voice. Look at thank you. You guys see Melania Pat?
Thank you very much.
All right,
everybody.
12:10, he starts speaking. Time it.
Thank you very, very much.
I guess 12:09.
Vice President Vance, Speaker Johnson, Senator Thune, Chief Justice Roberts, Justices of the United States Supreme Court, President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and my fellow citizens. The golden age of America begins right now.
Look at Kamala Harris in the front row. No clapping.
From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first. Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored. The scales of justice will be rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government will end. And our top priority will be to create a nation that is proud, prosperous, and free. America will soon be greater, stronger, and far more exceptional than ever before. I return to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country. Sunlight is pouring over the entire world. And America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions.
They are not, fact
that
check,
have illegally
not from
entered our
prisons and
country
mental
from all over the
institutions.
world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly.
A lot of similarities so far between this speech and the speech he gave at the
And
campaign
other
rally
states
Sunday
who are
night.
still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago. Or more recently, Los Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically burn. From weeks ago, without even a token of defense. They're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now. They don't have a home any longer. That's interesting.
I don't have a home
We
any
can't
longer.
let this
That's
happen.
interesting.
Everyone is unable to do anything about it. That's going to change. We have a public health system that does not deliver in times of disaster, yet more money is spent on it. than any country anywhere in the world. And we have an education system that teaches our children to be ashamed of themselves in many cases, to hate our country despite the love that we try so desperately to provide to them. All of this will change starting today, and it will change very quickly.
This is, for folks unfamiliar, a lot of this stuff is from his campaign speech. Right. I mean, his basic campaign speech. The stuff about North Carolina, stuff about the LA fires.
My
He's
recent
talked about this
election
stuff
is a
in
mandate to
campaign.
completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all of these many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on, America's decline is over.
Tough. Biden and Harris just sitting there.
Our liberties and our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government. Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history, and I've learned a lot along the way. The journey to reclaim our republic has not been an easy one, that I can tell you. Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
Well, I guess the subtext is now text. I was saved by God to make America great again. That may well be the quote that you see in the top of all news stories. That would be my guess.
Thank you very much. That is why each day under our administration of American patriots, we will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength. We will move with purpose and speed to
Bill
bring
Clinton's
back hope,
face.
prosperity, safety, and peace for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day.
Liberation Day. Again, Joe Biden just stewing, absolutely stewing.
It is my hope that our recent presidential election will be remembered as the greatest and most consequential election in the history of our country. As our victory showed, the entire nation is rapidly unifying behind our agenda with dramatic increases in support from virtually every element of our society, young and old, men and women, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, urban, suburban, rural, and very importantly, we had a powerful win in all 7 swing states, and the popular vote, we won by millions of people.
So weird talking about winning swing states. Dude, this is the inaugural address.
To the Black and Hispanic communities, I want to thank you for the tremendous outpouring of love and trust that you have shown me with your vote. We set records, and I will not forget it. I've heard
Always
your
setting
voices in
records.
the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and his honor, this will be a great honor, but in his honor, we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true.
It's so weird to me that he put in the we won 7 swing states and won the popular vote. Like, dude, like everybody knows that already happened. I guess he is who he is.
Is now returning to America. and confidence and pride is soaring like never before. In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success. We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution. And we will not forget our God. Can't do
Breaking
that.
news, by the way, right before 12 o'clock, Joe Biden pardoned 5 members of his immediate family, including his brother and his sister.
Today, I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense. It's all about common sense. First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border.
Standing ovation for declaring a national emergency at the southern border. Obviously, that is the thing that probably that and the state of the economy is what got Donald Trump elected. No question.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release. And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country. Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
This is basically his stump speech on the campaign trail. I mean, he's just saying, I'm going to do these things now because he is now the president of the United States, but that's what you're getting.
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
And he is, I will say this, he is reading more from the teleprompter than he usually does in a campaign speech, which makes sense.
I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before. Next, I will direct all members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly bring down costs and prices. The inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
Drill, baby, drill. Standing O. By the way, you'll notice nothing so far outreach-wise. Nothing for Democrats really in here.
A manufacturing nation.
Certainly not anything
and we have
about
something that no
Joe
other
Biden.
Manufacturing
Thanks for doing a good job or whatever.
The largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we are going to use it. We will bring prices down, fill our strategic reserves up again, right to the top, and export American energy all over the world. We will be a rich nation again, and it is that liquid gold under our feet
liquid
that will
gold
help to do it. With my actions today, we will end the Green New Deal and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto industry and keeping my sacred pledge to our great
For people asking, he's now
auto
at
workers.
15 minutes. Well, I said 23 and a half minutes, so he's not there yet. I think it's hilarious that he talks about the electrical vehicle mandate with Elon Musk being like one of his main
In
supporters.
other words, you'll be able to buy the car of your choice. We will build automobiles in America again at a rate that nobody could have dreamt possible just a few years ago. And thank you to the auto workers of our nation for your inspiring vote of confidence. We did tremendously with their vote.
It's so
I will
interesting.
immediately begin
This is
the
not a
overhaul
typical inauguration
of our
speech.
trade system to protect American workers and families.
This is mostly
Instead of
just his
taxing
campaign
our
speech.
citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax
Tariff.
foreign countries to enrich our citizens. For this purpose, we are establishing the External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues. It will be massive amounts of money pouring into our treasury, coming from foreign sources. The American dream will soon be back and thriving like never before. To restore competence and effectiveness to our federal government, my administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
Doge reference. Cut to Elon Musk. Come on, cameraman.
After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
Oh, JD's up for free speech in America.
Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents. Something I know something about. We will not allow that to happen. It will not happen again. Under my leadership, we will restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law. And we are going to bring law and order back to our cities. This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Big applause for that one. Capital One Arena. The Cardigan is psyched about that.
This week, I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay.
Again, so usually inauguration speeches are sort of big and soaring rhetoric. This is definitely more, it's like a combination of a State of the Union speech and a campaign speech. He's just like listing things he's going to do.
From being subjected to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately. Our armed forces will be freed to focus on their sole mission, defeating America's
He's at
enemies.
20 minutes right now. We'll turn around and point. Yeah, the over
Like
looks
in
good right now.
2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into.
Sorry, folks, my back is killing. Yeah, there's another beret. Somebody pointed out that Biden did not pardon Major Biden, the dog who likes to bite
My
people.
proudest
Great point.
legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, one day before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families.
It is fascinating that Trump says he wants to be a peacemaker and a unifier. He just spent 20 minutes of his speech ravaging everyone who's come before him in office.
Thank you. America will reclaim its rightful
Another
place
Uncle
as
Sam.
the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Gulf of America,
and we will
people.
restore the name of a
Melania
great
likes Gulf
president,
of America. Did she see her
William
smile?
McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs. President McKinley made our country very rich through tariffs and through talent. He was a natural businessman and gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did, including the Panama Canal, which has foolishly been given to the country of Panama after the United States. The United States, I mean, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal. We have been treated very badly from this foolish gift that should have never been made. And Panama's promise to us has been broken. The purpose of our deal and the spirit of our treaty has been totally violated. American ships are being severely overcharged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form. And that includes the United States Navy. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal. And we didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
That's a lot of time spent on the Panama Canal in an inauguration speech. We're taking it back, Panama. Look out.
Above all, my message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. So as we liberate our nation, we will lead it to new heights of victory and success.
24 minutes right now.
We will not be deterred. Together, we will end the chronic disease epidemic and keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free. The United States will once again consider itself a growing nation, one that increases our wealth, expands our territory, builds our cities, raises our expectations, and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons. And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
Oh, yeah. Elon cheering for that. We're going to Mars, people. Look at Elon. Yeah. Amazing. Elon. Karen is like, why did I get seated next to this guy?
Ambition
Tucker Carlson and
is the
Laura Ingraham.
lifeblood of a great nation. And right now, our nation is more ambitious than any other. There's no nation like our nation. Americans are explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers. The spirit of the frontier is written into our hearts. The call of the next great adventure resounds from within our souls. Our American ancestors turned a small group of colonies on the edge of a vast continent into a mighty republic of the most extraordinary citizens on earth. No one comes close. Americans pushed thousands of miles through a rugged land of untamed wilderness. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, braved untold dangers, won the Wild West, ended slavery, rescued millions from tyranny, lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity, split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm of the human hand. If we work together, there is nothing we cannot do and no dream we cannot achieve. Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken.
A lot of me in this speech, you know, not a lot of American people, a lot of Donald Trump. People said that I couldn't do it, but I did it. And by the way, the big parts of the speech, the sort of foreign rhetoric of the speech, definitely feels like you can tell he's reading it, right? What somebody really cares about is the stuff in the middle.
That you should never believe that something is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do best. From New York to Los Angeles, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami, from Houston to right here in Washington, D.C., our country was forged and built by the generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle defeat their spirit or their pride. Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and triumphed over every single challenge that they faced. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America's promise, and we will rebuild the nation that we love, and we love it so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So to every parent who dreams for their child, and every child who dreams for their future, I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We're going to win like never before. Thank you.
I got it. This guy on his phone. Yeah, move, make it move.
Thank you.
Yeah, anyway, so then I told
In recent
Trump.
years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to bring it back and make it great again, greater than ever before. We will be a nation like no other, full of compassion, courage, and exceptionalism. Our power will stop all wars and bring a new spirit of unity to a world that has been angry, violent, and totally unpredictable. America will be respected again and admired again, including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill.
We're at 30
we will
minutes,
be
folks.
prosperous.
30 minutes.
We will be proud. We will be strong, and we will win like never before. We will not be conquered. We will not be intimidated. We will not be broken, and we will not fail. From this day on, the United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation. We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly. and nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours, and our golden age has just begun. Thank you. God bless America. Thank you all.
All right, that was
Thank you.
30 minutes. Let me take this down, this sound. Okay, couple thoughts. It was very campaigny as a speech. It was very specific. Panama Canal, he's talking about what he's going, the Gulf of America, the things he's going to do. Very workmanlike. He's not a great speaker off of a teleprompter. He's just not. He's not good at soaring rhetoric. He's good at sort of like campaign attack stuff. So it to me felt like a combination of the State of the Union speech and a campaign speech. Like I said, I wrote workmanlike down a couple of times. I think the potential lead quotes from it, the golden age of America begins right now. Sunlight is pouring over all the world. America's decline is over. I was saved to make America great again. Those, I think, are the lines you're going to see quoted. Again, a very Donald Trump is not a great orator. He's just not. And this was not a great speech that's going to go down in history. By the way, Carrie Underwood is about to sing, if you're wondering what's going to happen. So I nothing out of the ordinary, candidly. Like this is sort of the speech I thought Donald Trump would give. And look, Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States, the 45th and the 47th. History has been made. So here's what I would say. Stay tuned. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to make a video, separate video, on my thoughts on this. If you joined me, thank you. If you liked this, do me a favor, like this video, just give it the thumbs up. But if you like this, send me a note, salizac@gmail.com. Tell me what you liked or what you didn't like. Do you want to see more of this kind of stuff where I've got a video and I'm commenting on it? Just let me know. Again, thank you all for joining. And make sure to check out my Substack if you haven't, chrissaliza.substack.com. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Now's the time to do it. But thank you all for joining. And again, I will be back very shortly with a video on my takeaways from this speech. And I'm going to try to rest up on my back so that I feel a little bit better. All right, everybody, take care of yourselves. Be well. History has been made. Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States. And I am out and I'm headed to make a video analyzing what I thought. All right, everyone, take care.